So this is Sheryl Swoopes, one of the greatest female basketball players of all time. And I don't think what she says, we've seen it with Paul Pierce, that like when someone becomes a talking head in the media and they say some ridiculous things, that people start to almost diminish what they've done as a player. Sheryl Swoopes is clearly one of the greatest ever. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Her career was incredible, but she's very close to getting on the Paul Pierce train, where people remember you for the dumb stuff you say on TV more than they remember you for being a star. Before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to 25.45. Okay, by the end of the day, and we're 30 off. So, Sheryl Swoopes. It was on her podcast, and the weird thing is that she was also appeared on a podcast called like Let Them Be Great yesterday, where she said that where she's basically just talking about how the rookies have been great for the league. And then on another podcast, she basically said that the Sky wouldn't be in the playoffs without she basically just said Angel's rookie of the year because the Sky wouldn't be in the playoffs without Angel, and this Fever would be in the playoffs with Caitlin. I agree with the first point that the Sky wouldn't be in the playoffs without Angel, but you've got Kennedy Carter is better than anyone on either of these teams, and I don't know, other than Caitlin, obviously. I don't agree. The Fever, I think, win 4 games without Caitlin. Like, I think genuinely they might win about 4 games without Caitlin this season. Like, they would be worse than Dallas Wings. But it got worse. It got worse. Click on the wrong thing. Sheryl Swoopes said this on her podcast. Katie Lou is more valuable than Caitlin Clark to the Fever. Look, I'm a big fan of screaming Katie Lou every time she hits a 3 at a 34% rate. But, like, she's shooting 34% on wide open catch and shoot threes with nobody near her. She's shooting 1.5% better from 3 than Caitlin Clark, who is shooting mostly 30-foot step backs. She's also shooting, if I'm not mistaken, I think she's shooting 38% from the field and averaging 5 points a game. She was down to 4 minutes at one stage in the rotation. Indiana Fever make the playoffs this season without Caitlin Clark because all she does is pass the ball. Again, I'm 100% certain the Katie Lou thing was said. I don't know how true this quote is, so I will say I'm not entirely sure about this quote here, but I know for a fact that the Katie Lou quote is real because I've heard it, and obviously just there's sometimes if it's I don't. Again, according to Clark Report, which I doubt it would be like this page would be false. Actually, to be fair, this could well be false. Fever would make the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. That's why Angel Reese are rookie of the year. Fever did not make the playoffs, 5 games behind 8th, now ranked 7th, have one of the easiest remaining schedules. You say that, but also you have to take into account that Dallas gets Satu back and Atlanta get Ryan Howard back. So those 2 Atlanta games and the 3 Dallas games you have to play, they are not easy games. They would have been easy games. Heck, you lost once to Dallas. But they would have been easier games, especially when you faced them without Segrist. And like Segrist is back after the Olympics too. So Dallas are going to be good after the Olympics. So the schedule is a little bit harder than people think. But the Katie Lou thing is wild. The Katie Lou thing is absolutely wild. And like, I'm not that opposed to some of these takes. Like Indiana Fever make the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. I don't agree. Angel Reese is rookie of the year. I don't agree. I think that's... Look, Caitlin Clark is minus 4,000 to win rookie of the year. She's minus 4,000. And like 80% of all bets have been on Angel Reese. Angel Reese is like plus 800. That's all I'm going to say. She is like plus 800. So we're now looking at a situation where if it would be one of the biggest losses in bookies history, considering how many people are betting on this. I think it's as good as... Look, I think it's going to be as good as done, the rookie of the year race. Unless Caitlin Clark shows up and averages 5 points a game. I think the MVP race and the rookie of the year race are done. They are done. And I don't think there's much of an argument at this point. I will say, if Angel Reese comes out and averages 20 and 15, yeah, she can go and take rookie of the year. Just like if Aja Wilson averages 15 points a game the rest of the way, or what's her name? Breanna comes out and averages 30 post-Olympic break. Yeah, there is, like, it would take the greatest 14-game spell of a rookie in history for Caitlin to lose Rookie of the Year, and it would take the, because Caitlin Clark has had probably the greatest 10-game spell of a rookie in history just in her last 10 games, but it would also, for Asia, take the greatest 14-game spell in the history of women's basketball for Breanna to take her MVP, neither of which are happening. But it is, I think Sheryl Swoopes at this stage is just, I keep clicking on, let's just show this, but I think she's just saying stuff to say stuff. I'm going to be honest, I think Sheryl Swoopes at this stage is just saying stuff to say stuff, because that's the thing, we've all seen what Sheryl Swoopes has said. Sheryl Swoopes has flip-flopped so much, like, in one podcast she'll praise Angel or Caitlin Clark, and say that she should be starting in the All-Star game, and say she's great for the NBA or WNBA. And in another podcast, she'll be saying that the team are better without her. And Katie Lou, of all people, Katie Lou. Look, I'm like praying. Look, she's obviously friends with Caitlin Clark, but I am praying that she does not get protected in the expansion draft and the Valkyries take her. Like, I am living in hope that her $150K a year salary comes off the books. Because that's the only chance they have of, like, building properly, because you're going to get Kelsey Mitchell's coming back. They're not going to let Kelsey Mitchell go. So it means if Katie Lou's gone, you have the money to look for, like, a Phoebich from New York to play the Katie Lou role but better, as well as going and getting a star player like a Neko or a Satu. And even if Phoebich doesn't work out, you can look for like a Walker Kembro, the best sixth player in the league. Like, you have all of these really, really good things you can do. But a lot of it is based on Katie Lou not being on or being taken in that damn expansion draft. But this is the craziest take I've ever seen in sports. It is the craziest take I've ever seen in all of sports. Like, I need to double check that this is all factual. I know for a fact the Indiana making the playoffs without Caitlin and the Angel Rookie of the Year is true, but I've seen this from an actual journalist, this take being posted on Twitter, so I don't see how they would be wrong, but I just can't find the specific podcast. I've only seen a couple of clips of it, but I'm like 95% sure this is real. Yeah. That is crazy. And even if this is like a misinterpreted quote, like, you cannot talk about Katie Lou being a positive for the Fever this year. She's been a slight upgrade over Christy Wallace. That is how you can describe Katie Lou. She has been a slight upgrade over Christy Wallace. Christy Wallace looks terrible in the Olympics playing against non-WNBA players. She should not be on a roster. Katie Lou Samuelson has not been better than Lexi Hull. Katie Lou Samuelson has not been better than Temi. Katie Lou Samuelson was maybe even better than Damiris Dantas. But, like, Katie Lou has been, as much as, again, you don't want to criticize the people, as far as I can see, Katie Lou's a lovely person. She has not been good this year. She's not been good. And supposedly, she said that Katie Lou is extremely important as a shooter and as a defender. She doesn't do either of them well. She doesn't even shoot anymore. But, yeah, Sheryl Swoopes, she's just Sheryl Swoopes. Sheryl Swoopes gonna Sheryl Swoopes.